Good evening and welcome to the NDTV Dialogues, a conversation of ideas. And tonight with me is a man of ideas, Chetan Bhagat, who has redefined literature, publishing and the whole art of communication. He's now out with his new book, Half Girlfriend, and he joins us tonight with an audience of young people who in a sense, Chetan, are your driving force. But tell us, thanks for being here and tell us a bit about Half Girlfriend.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all of you for skipping college for me. I'm sure you needed an excuse, so you got it. Well, Half Girlfriend is my new book that's coming, and I've taken 3 years to write it, and it's about it's a love story about a rural boy from Bihar who doesn't speak English well, and he falls in love with a girl in Stephens, which I understand was your alma mater too, who speaks English very well, and the issues that come with it. Essentially, it explores class in our society and how English has become the new class system. Varying degrees of English put you on different classes in society, and how that can impact relationships, work, career, everything. So that's what Half Girlfriend is about.
Chetan, you said it's a love story, but I think the whole class aspect is fascinating because your timing, as usual, is perfect. You managed to actually mirror a whole struggle we've seen come into focus much more with the new government taking over, where there's been much more a sense of Hindi as a national language and this actual reverse snobbery, some would say, that the English elite is outdated and we're not in tune with a new India where aspirations can be dreamt, thought and done in Hindi.
Yeah, I actually disagree with both the groups. Whether it's English Nazis or Hindi Nazis, I don't like either of these extreme views. In fact, I think Hindi should be there, and Hindi is our mother tongue and it is there in our movies, in our music. But English, it is not at the cost of English. English is no longer a choice. Everybody needs to know English to rise up in life today. And that is a fact. And that is my goal also actually in the country. I want every slum dweller's kid also to one day know English, read English and therefore buy my books. So
that's irony because your books are in English.
They are in English, and I think everybody needs English. But what is happening is, even within that English, there is no one English. There are some of us who are very lucky, who were born in families where English was spoken, there were English books around, English newspapers used to come. And people, I would count myself as one of those, we speak a different kind of English. We think in English also sometimes. And that's the difference. And then there is the rest of India which tried its best to learn English because they needed to, but they may not speak it so well. And it shows, you know. And so it's no longer English versus Hindi, it's about good English versus not so good English. And there's this very good English speaking people which are the Brahmins, and then you have the lower classes who know English but they cannot fluently talk in a TV show or watch NDTV like this. So I think, and they feel very judged. They feel it's their country and there is this one language which they kind of know, but because they don't speak it in the way the Brahmins speak, they don't get access to a world of jobs, of relationships, of culture. For example, let me ask the girls and be totally honest, how important is for you for a guy you date to speak English well? How is that important? Raise your hands if it's important.
Why is it important?
Every girl has raised her hand.
Why is it important? I want to ask this girl because you're from Bihar. So why is it important that a boy should speak English? Because
yeah, shouldn't he just love you? I mean, why is English?
In the long run, love does not matters. English does not matter. Somewhere is important. If you are introducing him to someone, so obviously that matters, that who you are dating.
Okay. The girl here just said he has to be presentable. So if you speak English, you are presentable. If you don't speak English, you're not presentable.
Somewhere, when you just show it to your parents as well, they'll think you see yourself and see him. So you should be presentable in that sense.
See yourself as in you are superior.
No, I'm not saying that I'm superior.
No, it's okay. We're just discussing. Let's not get personal. But when you say that, your parents will say, look at you versus look at him. Aapko dekho, uski auqat ko dekho. And the auqat is being decided by English.
English, yeah.
Right?
That's interesting because, as I said, we're just talking also about the changing India and India where we say Chai Wala is now Prime Minister and Mr. Modi takes pride in always speaking Hindi. I want to get the boys in. Why don't you come in on this whole Hindi-English thing? What do you think about it?
I basically feel that, yes, talking about the relationship of a boy-girl thing, I mean, I personally feel that a girl won't date me if I can't speak English. And
no
also,
matter, even if you are intelligent, successful, accomplished, nice, caring, loving.
Yes, everything.
Doesn't matter.
I am everything, but that is how our society has been. That is how it is growing as such, because English is a part of a culture now. More than We are studying in Delhi University, we are studying in good colleges. English is something that we need to know.
You are studying in English. Why don't you go ahead? Why don't you wanted to ask something? Go ahead.
My question basically for you, sir. So the protagonist of an upcoming book, he basically speaks Hindi. So मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि कोई लड़की जो बंदे अच्छा हिंदी बोलता है उसके साथ बात ही क्यों नहीं करते?
But that's what baffled me. And you know, I'll tell you one thing, Sonia, when I started writing, and I was in an English language author, and everybody said now you should go to London and get an agent and try all that, and I started speaking in Hindi in places, and I would, because that's how I'm from Delhi, and I switched to both languages, and I started writing for a Hindi paper. I write for Dainik Bhaskar, I write movies in Hindi, and they said, what are you doing? It will destroy your image. How can an English language, you will no longer be considered cool if you, but I said, I think I will be cool if I am myself, and that should be reason enough. But I was equally baffled that जो आप कह रहे हो कि गर्लफ्रेंड भी नहीं मिल रही है, नौकरी नहीं मिल रही है, अलग बात है, पर आगे वंश कैसे चलेगा, मतलब हिंदी बोलने वालों का.
But is it also about the hypocrisy? Because you talked about Bollywood, and and apparently in the current breed of some actresses actually learn their Hindi lines in Roman because they can't read Hindi. Yeah. So we want to watch our movies in Hindi, we want to think in English, we want to romance in Hindi, but English. We want to marry English. It doesn't make sense.
We want to love English, we want to surround ourselves with English speaking people, we want to consider ourselves as presentable and and someone in society, and look down on people who, and it really bothered me, and I thought that is why I need to do a book which is, and if an English language author does it, if an English language author shows compassion to a hero who doesn't speak English well, I think that will really touch people, and that is where this was born. And I must say, even today I am baffled that every girl said, I will not date a guy if he doesn't speak English well. Maybe it's a instinct, maybe they know that a guy who speaks English well will also do well in life later on. Is that somewhere back of the mind? Because for girls it's important कि आगे चल के क्या करेगा.
But it's true also that this is an audience at Delhi University, and again I think it's a dichotomy in the message you send out. If your premier university teaches in English, it's presumed that that's the language you should know, rather than, so it is a dichotomy, this mixed signals that we send out. But when we talk about your books, Chetan, and it was interesting because I saw a critic, or I think it was a publisher, describe it as the era of BC, which was that publishing was before Chetan and after Chetan. And I think the impact, I think you redefined literature now in a sense, and maybe one day, who knows, you'll see a Chetan Bhagat book on a curriculum in a Delhi University as well, because what is literature? When you look at that, you're in a sense you're the Bollywood star of literature. I really hope Smriti ji is
listening to this.
I think Smriti ji will approve of what
you're saying. I'll remove all the bad words, I promise. If you put it in the book, you can cut out, you can fast forward those scenes also.
I know. When I did English literature, we had Chaucer. I'm sure Chetan Bhagat would be much more relevant to an English literature student than Chaucer now, at least.
It's a classic debate that what is literature, and the people who control these curriculums, I'm sorry to say, and the people who control our academia have certain elitist notions of what literature should be, and it will be some British classics. That is good English. Whereas here is a guy who's writing in English, and millions of people are connecting to it and waiting for his books and finding you found yourself in the story for some reason. They'll find themselves, but for them, they feel it's too commonplace to be taught, and that is something to do with the same elitism that controls English. There's a small section which controls English, and people who even, for example, if you don't know physics well, and I know physics, okay, you don't know the second law of motion or third law of motion of Newton, I'm not going to laugh at you. But if someone mispronounces one word of English, we laugh in their face. It's not even our language. Maybe he was born in a small town where he didn't have English teachers, but there is so much scorn and there's so much sneering, and I don't think it's right, and I'm going to end it, and I'm going to end it by saying that it's okay. I mean, it's just language. And people are learning it not because they love the language, they are doing it to get ahead in life, and everybody has the right to do that. So I forget, I mean, it's yes. Very far away that my books will become curriculum. First we have to just accept that English doesn't mean a kind of British Queen's English which nobody even speaks in England now. It merely, we need to drop the level and make it simple, comprehensible, articulate English. I'm not saying have mistakes and errors.
As a means of communication, that's what.
Yeah, just a simple English is enough, and do not judge people beyond that and say, oh, you speak very good English and you speak less good English. As long as someone is clear, it's okay. That doesn't mean you send SMS messages in languages that I don't understand, those that's not what I'm proving. But yeah, simplicity.
Are there any English literature students here? So when you look at literature, when you read say a Chetan Bhagat book, do you see?
Are you even allowed to read Chetan Bhagat?
Academic wise.
No, but do they look down upon my books in your literature department?
No.
That's very sweet.
So you'll ever discuss the sensation and in fact that it's cool to read books, because otherwise, I mean, I know in English literature that it's often considered nerdy and nobody really reads books. Is it now? Does it give a certain coolness to reading?
At some point, yeah.
At some point, yes.
But books don't need to be cool and they can't be fun. Books have to be serious, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
They have to be serious.
Yeah, true.
And I cannot even be sarcastic over here. And we just must read books that bore us and put us to sleep, because then it is good literature. Is that correct? Is that what thinking is?
No, but there is one other thinking, Chetan, where people say that, okay, it's fine, we think Chetan Bhagat is a sensation and it's great that his books exist, but is the worry that people will then only read the Chetan Bhagat books and that's their definition of literature for them? They don't go, they may not challenge themselves with any harder literature, they won't get into some other concept or look at the whole variety display, because you're one part of it, there are many others.
I don't think that, see, firstly, I can't write that fast, right? I write one book every 3 years, so they'll read it and they will have plenty of time to wait for my next book, even if you're saying that he's just a Chetan Bhagat reader. And they do pick up other books, but yeah, maybe they will not move like to Chaucer and to War and Peace so soon, but it'll make them enter the bookstore. Maybe they'll pick up another book, maybe they'll read a few things. And I never said, I didn't say I'm applying for the job to make everybody read every book. Yeah. I am only writing my books, and if people like them, they're reading them. And that's all there is to it, really. I mean, you cannot say that I am causing them to not read other books. They wouldn't have read them anyway.
How important is the whole concept now, you think, of when you talked about class? How important, we've talked about English and Hindi and the whole snobbery or the whole domination, perhaps sometimes used in one language over the other. But when you look at what's happening now, and we see a changing aspirational India. Interestingly, of course, we talked about St. Stephen's, but the new college president is actually a boy who studied in a Hindi medium school. He campaigned in Hindi and he won the college election. So India is changing, and how do you see that change as positive? Not a change which is, okay, mine is better than yours, but as a positive, forward-thinking change.
I think it is changing, and I think it is not sustainable that we have this elite English people and they will decide who's good, who's not, what is cool, what is not, and then the rest of us don't deserve it because we didn't pronounce a word correctly. That is why people like me are taking a stance like this. That is why Mr. Modi is the Prime Minister today, because true coolness does not come from a language. If language made people cool, then all Britishers would be very cool, right? But they're not cool. What makes people cool is your conviction, your passion, your belief in yourself, and that can be in any language. That can be in sign language also. You can still do it. I mean, why does Mr. Modi ended up inspiring so many people? He hardly spoke in English.
He didn't at all.
Yeah, but I'm sure many girls here voted for him. And Rahul speaks very good English.